But let me tell you, it's good to be good and feel that I'm good than to be bad and feel that I'm good. So this is where we start first.
The question was not very clear.
Well, the question was that she, like all of us, is struggling hard to get out of this sense of ego. And we are trying to eliminate bad and become better, good. And then when we become good, then we begin to get this feeling that I'm good. I'm better than the other person. You know, that kind of thing. I'm better than the other person. Oh, what does it? How to handle that? I am saying that even to turn your negative uh, traits away and develop positive traits and be good. And then even if you feel I'm good, it is better than allowing the negative traits to be with you. And then you realize after some time that even feeling that I am good is not really worth it. Then it will drop off by itself. You cannot do anything. You should be aware of it constantly as it comes. You should be aware of it. Otherwise, suppose you have concluded that in general 90% or let's say 95% you have nothing negative in you. You're good. Suppose. And you also generally don't feel like that. I mean, that I'm great. Suppose. But then you come in communion or in contact with someone who, according to normal standards, is terrible, very negative, horrible fellow or felly, it doesn't matter. So, when you come across that, that is the time to watch, to say, am I thinking that I'm great and this fellow is useless? That's the time to watch. How do we catch ourselves there? By saying, one time I also was like this. No big deal. I was also like this. It's a miracle that I'm like this now. I was also like this. I want to tell you another example from Sri Ramakrishna's life. I don't belong to the Ramakrishna mission, please. Not any propaganda. Uh, there was one gentleman who was trying to be a good sadhak, good spiritual aspirant. But he had one big problem, which was his sexual desires were so strong that he could not control himself, and it was torturing him every day. He wanted to be free, but he couldn't be free. He got stuck up with so many people, and you know what it is, the whole circuit. So he wanted to ask Sri Ramakrishna. He knew him, he used to visit him. He wanted to ask him how to get rid of this. He thought in his mind, how to ask this man about such horrible things, such base things, to go and ask Sri Ramakrishna, hey, I am very sexual, what am I to do? How do you ask? So he was hesitating about this. One day he found him standing on the banks of the river and staring at the river, looking at the river. He said, come what may, I'm going to discuss this matter. I have to sort this out, and then who else will I ask? So he went to him. He did pranams. And he said, Thakur, I have a terrible problem. This. He listened. Then he put his hand on his shoulders and he said, I also pass through these problems. Don't worry, if I could fight it, you could do it. You see, here is a man who has dropped his tail. Generally, holy men will not admit this. They will say, no, I was always free. He is a prime example of someone dropping the tail. One more example. Since we are on the subject. In Dakshineshwar, when Sri Ramakrishna lived, he had a very peculiar man who was looking after him, who was his nephew, whose name was Hriday. Hriday Chattopadhyaya was kind of a young boy who came to him and looked after him, and he was with him for many years. Now he had heard that years ago, before he came, his uncle, which is Gadadhar Chattopadhyaya, Ramakrishna, did Kanya Puja to a young girl of 8, considering her as the mother goddess, worshipping a young girl as the mother goddess. So he decided that he would also do it. And he was looking for a young girl. The only young girl he could find was the Rani Rasmani, who ran the temple, who owned the estate. Her son-in-law, she had passed away. Her son-in-law Mathur Babu had a daughter who was 8 years old. Now they came from the fishermen community. Rani Rasmani was the head of the fishermen of that area. She was the one who built the temple of Kali. Therefore they found it very difficult to get a Brahmin priest to come there. Finally, Ramakrishna came because his brother came. Now Mathur Babu's little girl of 8 years was running around the garden house of Dakshineshwar. This Hriday brought some flowers and everything, caught hold of her feet, put the flowers and did puja for her. Now Mathur Babu came to know this. He thought disaster is going to strike the family. Here is a Brahmin, Chattopadhyaya, doing puja to my daughter. This is terrible. He says, many papas, sins will visit me now. We are all going to end in disaster. He got very frightened. In that anger, he called Hriday and said, all you Brahmins, get out of this place. I don't want to see your face. So Hriday came to the room, picked up his things, rolled up his mat, whatever meager belongings, and started to leave. So uncle saw him going. So he said, Hriday, where are you going? He said, Mathur Babu said, all you fellows get out of here, you Brahmins. So I'm going. Oh, he said that? He said, yeah, he said that. Okay. He also rolled up his mat, took his little bag, walked out. Now, while he was going out, Mathur Babu was standing on the terrace and looking, and he said, what has happened now? He's the only man who used to call him Baba. He said, what has happened? Baba is going somewhere. So he came running down. He said, where are you going? He said, Hriday told me that all of us have been asked to get out, so I'm going. But Baba, I didn't ask you to go. Oh, you didn't? No. Okay, then I'll go back. You see, there's no tail. You understand? The first part you can understand. Second part. First part you can, okay, he asked me to go, I'm going. Second part, but I didn't ask you to go, please come. Okay, I'll come. What would normal react? What do you mean? You asked me to go, why should I come back? And this, a person who has realized the self, who knows what the divine is. So when divinity permeates the heart of a great being, the tail is not there, it's cut off.